Hello again, and welcome to Inside Tulsa Athletics. I'm Gil Cloud, the Director of Athletics for the Tulsa Public Schools. We have a great show today. It's going to be basketball oriented, have two football coaches at the end, but we're going to talk about the opening of the McLain Fieldhouse on Thursday. Great opportunity, ribbon cutting at 3 o'clock. I want to invite everyone out, and then we'll talk about the wrap-up of the football season with Tony Daniels and Brad Calip. Stay tuned. We're going to be right back for Inside Tulsa Athletics. Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. We have the new head basketball coach for boys at East Central, Nate West. Nate, welcome to the show.
It's glad to be here. Thank you.
We're glad to see you. So you've been with the program now since over the summer and into preseason practice, and this is we get ready to kick off basketball in the state of Oklahoma. How do you feel about your East Central Cardinals?
Oh, well, I love the kids, and we, like you said, I got hired, I think, around June 24th, June 25th, and we got in the gym, I think, July 15th. And the biggest part of that was just building relationships with the kids, getting to know them. You know, that's the most important part of coaching. And right now, Cardinal basketball kids are playing hard and playing with a lot of spirit, playing with a lot of pride. We got to keep working on playing smart and getting organized. But we're excited for Bishop Kelly Game 1. Next Tuesday. We're ready to compete.
Well, you got some scrimmages under your belt. How did you do that?
Well, we scrimmaged, our very first scrimmage, we scrimmaged Oologah and Bigsby. And that was a great scrimmage for us. We got to go against some zone, and so we got to kind of talk about and learn about good shot, bad shot against the zones and ball movement, things like that. And then our next scrimmage was Victory in Cleveland. And Victory really got up in us in a man-to-man, and that was really good for us because they got some athletic kids and they were tall. And one thing about our team is we don't have a lot of height. I think our tallest guy is probably 6'3", 6'4". So we're just figuring out ways to protect the rim on defense and using our speed to our advantage on offense right now.
So you're gonna play a little bit quicker brand of basketball?
Just whatever fits the kids, you know. We actually had 4 returning starters, but coming back from last year's team, but all 4 played football. And so the football season ended, I guess, 9 days ago or so. And so trying to get those football kids acclimated back to the basketball court with a new coach, with some new sets and some new ideas. We're still learning each other right now, you know, and so But we look forward to Game 1 on Tuesday.
Basketball conditioning is a little different than football.
It's different, yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
A little bit different. We got one more scrimmage this week before you kick off next week.
Well, we scrimmage Union tomorrow at East Central, and you know, Coach Garcia teams at Union are always well organized, and they catch you off surprise. You know, they'll mix in like a half court or 3/4 court 3-2 when you're not expecting it. Just kind of smart basketball, and you know they've got plenty of athletes to go against. So we're looking forward to playing them tomorrow.
Well, how do you feel your first head coaching position after being in a really good program over at Memorial with Coach Allison?
Yeah.
How's it feel? How's your preparation mentally and everything as a head coach as opposed to being an assistant coach?
Well, as a head coach, I guess all the decisions flow through me, and so that's probably the biggest difference. Is that the final say is what I see and what I think, and so. But at the end of the day, high school kids are high school kids. You gotta learn them and get to know them more than just basketball. You got to get them to compete hard and want to play the game with a tough mindset, and you got to get organized. You got to get organized. And we played Bishop Kelly Game 1, and you know Bishop Kelly's always organized. So we'll see what we can do next Tuesday.
That'll be certainly a great test right off the bat to play them. So that's a non-conference game. You're still in the Green Country Conference, and
Yeah.
of course there's a lot of competition every Tuesday and Friday. It's like a war in the Green Country Conference.
Every game.
So you think Memorial will be back up again?
Memorial's really good. You know, they're not going to be tall. You know, both Keelan and Calip are in Stillwater now playing for OSU, and so I think their tallest guy is like 6'3", 6'4". So in the conference, I'm trying to think if Rogers has a good big or two good bigs, and I watched Webster play this summer. Boy, they play fast and physical, but I don't remember a big on their team. And McLain, you know, they play tough. So I think in our conference, who am I missing? Edison's got some big kids. They've got two big tall guys.
Of course, Central.
And Central's got one tall guy, Jefferson. I mean, I think he's 6'5" at least. So every night is physical and fast. And
there's none of those you can just write down that we're going to win this game.
No, you better come ready to compete. I've been telling the kids that we got to love being Cardinals. You know, a lot of time in our conference, just that pride in school and that spirit about that we love where we're at. You can kind of, and you know, when a team has it, it's tangible. You can see it.
And that's one of the things the head coach has to build and change the culture when you come into the program. But you're going to have a little help here in about another year.
Oh yeah, that arena's coming.
When we build this arena, what will that mean to your student athletes, you think?
Well, it's so special for kids, because I was at Memorial, and there's an arena at Memorial, great facility, and just the kids that get to use that I saw while I was at Memorial, they had pride. They had pride in their facility. They wanted to keep it clean. They wanted to keep their locker rooms clean. You know, they didn't want to leave stuff out on the court at the end of the. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It just adds a level of pride and want to and desire to be the best they can in the classroom and as an athlete. So we're looking forward to that arena.
So not only you're a new head coach and you get a new arena in another year, you got a new job.
Yeah.
How's it being the dean?
So August and September, I don't know if you know, but I've been a PE teacher since 2013. So from 2013 to 2019, I was playing ultimate football and whipple ball and 3-on-3 basketball, all that stuff, just sweating during the day. And so fast forward to this year at East Central, now I'm wearing slacks during the day, dress shoes. And my communication with kids is different because the kids that I see need some extra help or extra support, but it's also very rewarding because you get to get a kid in a spot of trying to help them just make better decisions and help them along wherever they're at in their past. So I'm enjoying it. Enjoying it.
Well, we're glad you are. I think you'll do a great job there. Thanks for being on the show today.
I appreciate it.
And when we come back, we're going to have Gary Pitts, who is the head girls basketball coach at East Central.
How was school today?
Mrs. Smith, what are you doing?
Recycling.
You can't put plastic bags in the blue recycling cart. But you can recycle this milk jug.
You can recycle stuff from all over the house.
You can recycle this empty box.
What about these hangers?
Just aluminum and steel cans, paper and cardboard, plastic bottles and jugs,
glass bottles and jars.
To learn more, check out TulsaRecycles.com.
SNU is proud to announce our Masters in Sport Management and Administration coming to Tulsa in February 2020. Whether your dream is to be a head coach, an athletic director, or working in professional sport, SNU's Masters in Sport Management provides you with the tools you need to achieve your dreams. This 20-month program will meet on Wednesday nights at our Tulsa campus. Take your love for sport to the next level. Visit us online at pgs.snu.edu.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. Now we have Gary Pitts, the head girls basketball coach at East Central. Welcome to the show, Gary.
Appreciate
I
you.
tell you what, we're looking forward to basketball season. This is a great week. We finish up football and we get basketball started. How's your preseason been with your girls?
Pretty good. We've played in some preseason. So we went over to Rogers and played over at Union and then we coming back and we playing again at Union again. Well, we played at Union twice, so it's been going pretty well.
Scrimmages get everything that you were looking for in your scrimmage?
Yeah, I got to see a lot of girls that usually didn't get to play a lot, and got to see what they could do. I'm trying to at least build my bench a little bit, so yeah.
How's your numbers?
Pretty good, pretty good. I have 17 girls.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
on the team, and so it's been pretty good.
So we heard earlier from Nate that we opened with Bishop Kelly. How's that going to be?
It's going to be a good game. You know, we played Bishop Kelly 3 times last year. We beat them 3 times, you know, home and home, and then we played them in the playoffs first round and beat them then. So, but they had a really, really young team last year, and they're really scrappy. So it'll be a very good game, a good test early.
Let's talk about your team. How's your team match up as far as experience and everything?
You know, I brought a lot of girls back. I didn't lose anybody. I lost a guard, one guard, but I brought back 9 seniors off a team that made it to the state, and we lost to the eventual state champions by 4 points last year. So I'm looking forward to this year, and I'm expecting a lot of big things from this team.
Who's your leader in that group?
T.T. Mitchell is my leading scorer coming back from that group. And then I have a post player, Shay Stone, that getting a lot of Division I looks, and actually committed early to Oral Robertson. I don't know what happened. She kind of decommitted, and now she's kind of, you know, in limbo right now for the late signing date.
Well, you know, she's checking her options.
That's right.
Well, you play in the Green Country Conference, and of course the Green Country East Central, you know, has been in Booker T when they were in, kind of dominated that. Who do you think your competition is going to be this year?
Well, I know Coach Carlin over there at Kism. He has a really good team. He does a good job with those girls. They're going to be pretty tough. They beat us last year, and they also made it to state. So I think that's probably going to be my #1 competition. And, you know, Memorial with Coach Asbury over there, he's going to do a good job, always does, and I think they'll be tough too.
They got good numbers. I noticed the other day, looking at their rank 1, that they got about 30 now for basketball. So, well, if you look at your, if you look down through your schedule, what do you think the highlights are for your team to look forward to this year?
Well, I'll tell you what, the Jinx Union tournament is going to be tough. It's going to be all 6A teams, and we're going to be a team over. I think maybe Santa Fe's over there, Union and Jinx, and we'll probably get matched up with one of them early, which will give us an early test of how good we really are. And you know, I know they're really good, and so I'm looking forward to that one. And then the Shriners tournament is always a good tournament. We always play. You know, last year we played in the finals against Fort Gibson, and they beat us. So
in Muskogee, it's always a good tournament.
Always a great tournament. Yeah.
Well, you know, when you play a competition like that, a lot of coaches run from tougher competition. I think. How do you feel about that?
Well, last year we played a really tough schedule. I like the competition because it gives you a test of where you are earlier. Now, it doesn't help you as far as the ratings and that, but, you know, we started out, I think, like 1-6 last year. We played in the Arkansas Tournament of Champions and came back and played in the Tournament of Champions here. And I think we ended up like 1-4 maybe in those tournaments. So, you know, it was really tough for us.
Well, you know, there's been a lot of conjecture out there in the basketball world, probably more outside basketball than the basketball coaches, about going to districts. How do you feel about having districts?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of back and forth on that, but I think a lot of people are in favor of it, so I haven't really made my mind up how I feel.
Districts, one of the things district did in all the sports, and basically it's almost all the sports now, it killed the conferences.
Yeah. Because
you had to play certain people who weren't not necessarily in your conference.
Exactly.
And that's a shame in some respect, because we don't get near the publicity on a conference level for our kids that we used to.
Yeah.
You know, I can remember when the Metro 7 and the Great Lakes and the Metro Lakes and the Suburban and all those, the Oklahoma 6, the Oklahoma 8, all those were around, and boy, there was something in the paper all the time and on the news. And, you know, now the Green Country Conference and the Frontier Conference and, you know, over in this area, in Metro Lakes, all the big school conferences is about all that's there, and they don't follow them like they used to.
No, they really don't. And I mean, you know, it's getting more out to the suburban schools a lot of times. But I tell you what, you know, we just need to have, I think what's going on with high school sports now, we need to really have some type of feeder programs into our high school teams, and I think that's what's falling off. And so the basketball is not, it's a little bit more watered down a little bit. We have to try to strengthen up the middle schools.
Well, I think that's one of the things that we're really working on, you know, for this next year is to really revitalize our middle school programs and actually try to add a couple of programs. We want to look at cross country and track and wrestling in those programs, and get the soccer coaches a stipend. They haven't had a stipend. They worked for free for the last 5 years.
Wow.
But I think it's very, very important. You're right. If we keep those young kids coming to the high school that they're in, I think we're going to be much, much better off. Yeah. Well, in the last 30 seconds here, how do you look at this season?
You know what? I'll be honest with you. I don't hide away from anything. I don't expect anything but the championship if we can get it this year. I mean, I think we have the team that can do it. Actually, we have, like I said, 9 seniors, and those girls got a lot of minutes on the court, and these girls have been playing quite a bit. You know, eventually lost to Booker T the year before last, and lost to Piedmont the year before that. So this is our time to kick the door in and try to get that goal.
Those are pretty good programs too.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. Well, we're certainly glad you're here today, and good luck during the year.
Thank you.
And when we come back, we're going to have Conley Phipps, who's the head boys basketball coach at Booker T. Washington.
Being an athlete at Booker T. Washington has taught me to carry myself with class as an athlete, student, and friend, and to have responsibility on and off the field.
Being an athlete at Memorial High School has taught me to be a better person, because when you play sports, attitude is the main thing you have to deal with. Not just your own, but other people's. It also teaches you to be the bigger person.
How was school today?
Mrs. Smith, what are you doing?
Recycling.
You can't put plastic bags in the blue recycling cart, but you can recycle this milk jug.
You can recycle stuff from all over the house.
You can recycle this empty box.
What about these hangers?
Just aluminum and steel cans, paper and cardboard,
Plastic bottles and jugs.
Glass bottles and jars.
To learn more, check out TulsaRecycles.com.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. Now we have the head basketball coach of the Booker T. Washington Hornets, Conley Phipps. Conley, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Coach. Good to see you.
Well, it's this week in basketball. I mean, schools are starting all over the state, and you've got a little bit later opening, don't you?
Yes, we don't open up till right after Thanksgiving, November 30th down the Hoop Fest in Duncanville. And then the following Saturday, December 7th, we're at the Norm Stewart Classic in Columbia, Missouri. And
that's a breakfast game, isn't it?
That's the breakfast, 7 a.m., Coach.
7 a.m.
I'm sure you'll
but
be up.
On ESPN.
ESPNU. So
yeah,
it's live, and, we didn't really want to turn down that opportunity to play on live TV, national audience, and I'm sure a lot of people will be watching that on DVR, but it will be live on ESPNU.
Well, shoot, I'll be in my second donut at 7 o'clock in the morning. Goodness gracious. Well, that's exciting for our kids, though, to be able to play like that. So you play those games. You don't open at home till.
We come back. We're at Jinx on December 10th. Our first home game is December 17th against Bigsby. And then we follow that up with December 19th game at home against Sapulpa. So,
all right.
And then we'll move into after Christmas Tournament of Champions. Our favorite thing to do, playing the Tournament of Champions.
It's a neat tournament, and boy, what a field we have this year.
Great field. Great field.
We're going to have Mick on our next show, and we'll be releasing the brackets because it doesn't come out until Wednesday, when we have our press conference on the 4th. So that'll be good. Well, as you get ready to get into, you just got your football players today.
Yes.
So how's that transition going to be, and do you think it's going to hurt you any?
You have to slow down a little bit, go back and cover some things. The group will have coming in from football. Most of them played last year, so they're fairly familiar. With the way we want to operate. J.J. Hesher's going to play off the football team. He hasn't played in a couple years. So we're going to, take it slow with him. He's familiar with our players and the program, but doesn't know all the lingo and that stuff. But we're looking forward to getting him acclimated. He's going to be a big part of what we're going to do this year. So I'm excited to get those guys in.
Oh, he's a good athlete. There's no question.
Very good athlete. He has size. He has toughness. He grew up playing PWP with a lot of our guys. So, I've known JJ since elementary school. So, it's going to be an easy adjustment for everybody. We're looking forward to getting that started.
Well, that's good. Well, what type of hoopla have you had around your program? Do you think this early signing is either good or bad for high school basketball?
Well, I think it's good because I think the kids that can get to that decision, obviously it needs to be the right decision or the best decision they can make with the information at that time. I think it's good for them to get it out of the way and concentrate on their senior year. Obviously, having the good fortune of coaching one of the best players in America, Bryce Thompson. There's a lot of television cameras coming in and out of there, and a lot of attention. We had his commitment streaming live on CBS Sports, so that was a neat thing for our players and for Bryce's family and for Booker T. So there's a lot of, hoopla that surrounds that. I hope our guys are soaking it in. That's not always the way it is. Not everybody has opportunities to play with a guy like that. But I'm glad that our guys took advantage of their signing period and can concentrate on their senior year.
Well, I'm excited to look at this Oklahoma-Kansas matchup here.
Yeah. When they went from playing together, and now maybe Trey and Bryce will be guarding each other.
Absolutely.
So that'll be neat. Yeah, that'll be neat.
Well, it is, because you get to know so many people through athletics over the years that you play, and then to be able to get at that level, it's a neat thing for those kids.
Yes.
Well, as you get ready to go into the Frontier Conference, always a tough conference, what do you think your competition is going to be there?
Well, every night, every Tuesday and Friday, you better be ready to play. At that level of 6A basketball, it's as good as it gets. Old Washington Union are always good. Sand Springs is going to be good. Sapulpa is going to be good. We lost a lot of good players out of the league last year. Probably, I'd say 7 of the best, probably 10 or 12 players were seniors. But there's still a lot of good players left and a lot of opportunities for guys to step up. And it'll be interesting to see how it shakes out. Jinx is going to be better, so it'll be interesting.
Well, as a defending state champion, do you think that puts a little bit more pressure on your kids every night than when they go out to play?
Well, I think that I don't think it necessarily puts pressure on them. I mean, because that's kind of what we try to do. We welcome that. We want to be the best and be considered the best. I think what my guys have to understand is when you step on the floor, you're going to get everybody's best shot. And for some of those young guys that aren't used to dealing with that, that can be an adjustment. Obviously, the sooner we can make that adjustment, the better off we're going to be. It's been my experience when I've been, lucky enough to, coach good teams or be on a coaching staff where we've had a good team. It seems like even the teams that aren't as good always play really well against the best team. So you've got to learn to deal with that. But other than that, we welcome, we welcome that pressure.
So the last 30 seconds, I've asked all the coaches today. I'm asking you because I have a meeting next week I need to go to and respond a little bit. What do you think about basketball districts?
I think it's the right thing to do, for sure. I think the only negative is, you may have to travel during the week. On a Tuesday night, somebody's going to be going to Ponca City or Stillwater.
Right.
Like the old Frontier Conference, right?
Exactly.
And so I think some people aren't used to that, but I think that's the most fair way to get to the seedings at the end of the season for the playoffs. That's right. That's right. Eliminates it.
Well, thanks for being here. Good luck. This year is going to be a great year, I know, for the Hornets, and we'll look forward to having you back many, many times.
I appreciate it,
throughout
Coach.
the year. And coming up next, we'll have Randy Rutherford, the head basketball coach at McLain High School.
I love Will Rogers Athletics because it helped me physically, spiritually, and emotionally through all the journeys I've been through at that school. All of the support staff helped me a lot, and it's just an amazing school.
Athletics at Will Rogers changed my life because it became a second family. With the support of my coaches and teammates, it's helped me gain confidence, work as a team, and will help me in college and in life.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. We have a guest now, the head boys basketball coach at McLain, Randy Rutherford. Randy, in his second year. Randy, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Well, you're here. You've had a year in, and what do you think about the coming year?
Well, this coming year should be exciting because we have a few guys back from last year, so we're excited about that. Our best player will be back. He was all conference last year, so he's going to lead us this year, so we're all excited about that.
Well, good. As you get ready, it is an exciting time at McLain because there's a new facility there.
Absolutely. I mean, the new facility is beautiful. I mean, we've been in there for the last couple of weeks, so we're excited about that. I think the community will be really excited once they get to see it this coming Thursday. So everybody's all smiles right now in McLain.
Yeah, it's really good to have when you have a build it and they will come mentality.
Right.
You know, but it with the ribbon cutting at 3 o'clock on Thursday afternoon, and then your season opener with Edison. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, I think it's going to be a great event. I think we're going to try to do a couple of special things for the first grand opening for the game that night. I think the guys are really excited. I'm sure the girls' team is excited too. So I think it's going to be a really fun atmosphere for our first game in the new arena, and hopefully we get a victory in it.
I think, how do you think it affects just the general student body?
I think whenever you have something like that special and it's new and everybody gets to see it, it makes everybody feel like they're a part of it. I think, we'll be able to do some things in there with the band, the choir, debate team. So there's a lot of options in there for everybody. So I think the whole school is excited about it.
A multi-purpose center really
absolutely
is for the students, and that's why we build these things for the kids.
Oh, absolutely, it's for the kids.
It's not for us. I mean, we've already been through that.
Right, absolutely.
That. Well, as you get ready to go into the Green Country is a battle every Tuesday and Friday night. There's no question about that. Who do you look at as your chief competitor this year?
Well, I mean, Central's always, it's our rivalry, so that's always going to be a tough game. For us, we can't overlook anybody, so every game we have is going to be a tough game, and we're looking forward to the challenge. I think come February, when we've had some time to really work over these breaks coming up, Christmas and Thanksgiving, that we'll get a lot better and really know where we're going to be going down the stretch. But right now, we're just trying to focus on what we can control, and that's our team and what we do.
Mm-hmm. So I think the Central McLain game, one of them, I don't know which home game it is, will be in the BOK this year.
Yes, that's what I was told. I think that's exciting. I mean, Christmas come twice this year for us.
Yeah,
the guys get to play in the BOK Center. That's where all the live artists come and play, and NBA comes in. I think that'll be a great atmosphere for our young men.
It is always a great experience. I remember one year we had our Student Athlete Advisory Committee, and we had a young lady from Booker T. And we said, what is the greatest thing that happened during your senior year? She said, I had 3 great things. I played in the Tournament of Champions, I played in the BOK, and we played in the state tournament.
That's pretty special.
Those are 3 pretty special things that
Absolutely.
happen for, and we want to make those type of opportunities for our kids. So who are some of your stalwarts that you're going to welcome back?
Well, we got Kewan McCall coming back. He was our leading scorer last year. He averaged 15, 5 assists, 5 rebounds for us. We're excited about him coming back. We got Iman Galloway, who will be a sophomore, who grew about 3 inches this summer, who's really improved. He's about 6'3" now, so he's going to really help us. We got Tyree Brooks. We got some football players that will help us that played for us last year, but they're coming with some size. So we're excited about the overall picture with our team. We know we got some work to do, and we're working toward that every day, but it should be a very successful and fun year at McLain this year.
Takes football players a couple of weeks to get acclimated to basketball, don't they?
Well, just the conditioning itself is the biggest deal for those guys. And, they were screaming, Coach, I'm ready, I'm ready. So after the first day of running, they realized they wasn't ready.
No, they're not ready.
So it'll take a couple of weeks for them to get acclimated. But we got this Thanksgiving break coming up, which will give us a lot of time to practice, and we're looking forward to that.
That's good. Let's talk about that. Your preparation, basketball goes through 2 semesters.
Right.
And it goes through 2 major holidays.
Right.
How does that affect your program?
Well, it could be a blessing if we can, get the kids to come to practice over those holidays, because they're our students and they're our kids and they want to be home with their families and their friends. But I've always thought that the holiday is when you really get better, when you really make big strides, because you can come in the morning and have a shoot-around practice for an hour, come back in the afternoon and have a 2-hour good practice. So it's a positive and a negative. It's a positive if we get the kids there. It's a negative if we don't. So we try to take advantage of it the best way we can.
Are you young, old, or what?
We're pretty much in the middle. I got freshmen, sophomores, and juniors. I got more juniors than anything. I have 1 senior. So we're pretty young because we only had about 2 or 3 kids that played for me last year that got some varsity time. So we're young from that aspect, but we've been together, most of us, since the summer, working the summer. So I think we'll have a good opportunity to be a little bit better than we were last year.
How important is Summer League to your program?
Summer League is very important. I'm a big believer in individual workouts. Not so much playing a lot of basketball games, but really working on your individual skill. Because if we all get better individually, then we'll get better collectively. And I like my kids to go and play some, have some summer games that they go play. The Summer League at Bishop Kelly is really good. We enjoy that, but we spend about 2 hours a day in the summer just really working on our skill and understanding our philosophy.
See, I think I agree with you. I think fundamental techniques are the key. When I was coaching, we always had individual period the first 30 minutes of practice.
Absolutely.
You step with the right foot and all the things
basic fundamental things that are so forgotten now is very important, and we try to introduce us to those kids every day. They're athletic, but their fundamentals are not very good.
I think that's one of the downsides of the AAU, where they play 6 or 8 games in a day. I had a guy, Ron Carson.
Yeah, I know Carson.
Well, Carson called me up one day, and I had a rant about that on TV about how bad it was. And he said, I'm glad somebody finally said something, because I'm just telling you, I call it the AAU jog when they go back down the court to play defense, because they're not on defense. They're all about scoring.
It's one of those things that it's a positive and a negative. It's a curse and a blessing. I think AAU is good for about 10% of the kids that play it. I think the other 90% are just cheerleaders.
Yep.
I think if parents really want their kids to really perform at a high level, they need to really think about what's best for their kid from a skill standpoint and then just a physical standpoint. It's a lot of wear and tear on those young bodies, 6 and 7 games. So it's important for us to move forward.
I saw that Dr. Andrews in Atlanta made that statement over the weekend, that specialization is not the key.
Right.
Randy, thank you for being here. Good luck this year.
Thank you so much.
The Titans have a great year in their new arena. And when we come back, we're going to have Michael Parish, the head boys basketball coach at Edison High School.
Athletics is so important at Tulsa Central because it's an outlet for some of our kids there. They get a better opportunity to basically give back to our community.
At McLain, the sports is what mainly drives a bunch of the students to come to school every single day and work hard, because they want to be able to come from the classroom to the field or the court and show at what they're good at.
How was school today?
Mrs. Smith, what are you doing?
Recycling.
You can't put plastic bags in the blue recycling cart, but you can recycle this milk jug.
You can recycle stuff from all over the house.
You can recycle this empty box.
What about these hangers?
Just aluminum and steel cans, paper and cardboard,
Plastic bottles and jugs.
Glass bottles and jars.
To learn more, check out TulsaRecycles.com.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics, and now we have the head boys basketball coach at Edison High School, Michael Parish. Michael, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
I tell you what, exciting time at Edison.
Absolutely, it's been a lot of fun.
We got the basketball season starting. Get to open a new gym over at McLain. However, you still have football going on. How does that affect your program?
Well, it's been amazing at Edison High School this year to see the improvements and the first district championship in a long time, and so proud of those kids. One of the best parts of our job is getting to watch the developments of these kids, and this group of seniors the football team has, where they came from their freshman year and what they've accomplished now. It's really been something special. I'm so proud of Coach Daniels and all his coaches and what they've been able to accomplish, and we're not done yet. So got a big playoff game Friday night against McGinnis, and hopefully continue to move on.
And that spills over into the rest of the school, the culture of the school, does it?
Absolutely. That's why I say they got a big pep assembly planned for Friday, and just the entire school morale has been lifted because of what the football team's been able to accomplish. The student body's showing out for those games, and I think all sports now kind of have a little bit more enthusiasm and excitement going into their seasons.
Well, when you set that benchmark, is it playoffs or nothing? I mean,
absolutely. Yeah.
Everybody kind of gets the message that it's exciting to be involved in that.
And having a marquee player like Savion Morrison, who not only is a special player, but a special young man around the school. The students love him as a person, not just as a player. And when you've got a charismatic kid like that just uplifts your school itself, it's just been a special time this year.
Well, we've always said that athletics is the other half of education, and I think it blends in and can make the year go really, really well if everything goes well in that other half. Well, you get ready for basketball.
Absolutely.
We open Thursday night with Randy Rutherford's McLain Titans. How do you think it's going to go?
Well, the history, McLain basketball, is such a special history, and to get to be a part of it in the opening of the new gym, it's really funny. When I played in the All-State game, my coach was Mike Bolton. So knowing him and Coach Piggies, when I first started at Edison, Coach Piggies was the head coach at McLain, and having played against and gotten to know a lot of the great players from McLain, just a special night I know that they're going to have in store for the tradition of McLain basketball, and for us to get to go over there and be a part of it is one thing, but then trying to win the game is another. So we've got our work cut out for us. I think the guys are looking forward to the opportunity to go over there and play in what will be a playoff type atmosphere, I'm sure. So I hope everybody will come out and get a chance to view the new McLain facility and cheer on both teams.
It's nice. It's a really nice facility. I think we learned in the first three what not to do in this one. And I think that one of the biggest things we learned is to have chair backs on both sides.
Right.
I think that was a good one. But it is a great facility, and I think it will be exciting for you and your players. And you did mention, some people that have gone through McLain, outstanding coaches over the years, Joe Shoulders and Shea Seals.
John
Phillips. I mean, goodness gracious, you go through that. So it will be a very, very special night, and I'm glad that it's happened here in Tulsa. I think it's
I'm really honored to get to be a part of it. So it was a scheduling, trying to make sure that we were going to be able to make that happen. I'm glad that we were able to get it scheduled on Thursday night to get off of Friday Night Lights.
That's great.
So it's a special night, and I'm looking forward to it.
Well, who's going to be your bell cow this year?
Well, we've got 5 really good seniors returning, and all 5 of them have been big parts of our program. We've had one young man that has made tremendous strides, a kid named Mason Alexander. He's got a chance to be a special player, and I'm not just talking about this year, I'm talking about moving forward. He's grown, he's up to 6'6", 6'7" now, and I'm looking for a special year from him. We've got Lottie Combs, Quentin Asbury, Brandon Stewart, Scout Huggins. Those guys give us a great foundation and building block. We've got some good young kids that are coming in that have made a lot of strides, and it's been fun actually watching which young kids are going to be the next up-and-comers for our program. So with those seniors, their good leadership they're providing, and our talent with our young kids, I feel we're in a good position to, our program.
Well, great. Let me ask you a question that since you're kind of the godfather of the basketball coaches, I think you're the longest serving one, maybe not the oldest.
Right.
But there's been a lot of conjecture out there from the Oklahoma Secondary Schools Association about changing over from rankings to districts. How do you feel about that?
I've been in it long enough to see the positives and negatives of the rankings itself. I think in Tulsa Public, we've been at a disadvantage to some of the suburban schools where, through the ranking system, there's a brother-in-law type system that goes on. I think districts are the obvious next move. That way it takes a lot of the rankings and the subjectivity out of it. You just go head-to-head, who wins and loses, and I think it's more fair and even playing field for all the teams. So I would be for districts. So I kind of see that in the future coming.
I concur with you. Your politics are the key thing here. And we're gonna jump up on this one guy over here, and we're gonna move him down so my buddy can move up.
Sure.
And that's what it's about.
Absolutely.
And we forget about what's best for the kids and who's played the toughest schedule.
Some coaches don't even go through and really look at who they've played, strength of schedule, balance of power, that type of stuff. It's a brother-in-law system where they're posturing for themselves. Maybe I can move myself down to get a better seed or help this particular coach out.
And when you're playing in the green country every Tuesday and
Friday is it's a war.
It is a war. Well, I'm glad you're here.
Well, thank you for having me.
Good luck on Thursday.
Thank you.
Good luck to everybody on Thursday. So I have to be for everyone.
Sure.
But we'll look forward to having you back sometime. And when we come back, we're going to have Brad Calip to talk about the wrap-up of the Booker T. Washington football season.
How was school today?
Mrs. Smith, what are you doing?
Recycling.
You can't put plastic bags in the blue recycling cart, but you can recycle this milk jug.
You can recycle stuff from all over the house.
You can recycle this empty box.
What about these hangers?
Just aluminum and steel cans, paper and cardboard, plastic bottles and jugs,
Glass bottles and jars.
To learn more, check out TulsaRecycles.com.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. We have the head football coach and director of athletics at Booker T. Washington, Brad Calip. Well, Brad, football season's over, and we're not happy, but let's talk about your game.
We played Dale City, and very good football team that we played. We kind of underestimated their size and their quickness, and I think it was just youth that's kind of got us at the end, and they was on a mission. We beat them last year, first round in our place, and so it was just kind of like, hey, we're going to get you this time. But our kids fought, and like I said, I have 5 freshmen that actually played in that game, but at the end, their maturity kind of showed, but we fought to the end, and like I said, it's over, and I got a lot of youth coming back, and so we'll just kind of reload for next year.
Yeah, with the 5 freshmen coming back and playing, I guess, a certain major role in some cases, you are young, very young.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and my quarterback, we started him. He's a freshman, and he didn't have a great game, and I always say like Calip, but he started in some games before then. But you look back at it, he's 14 years old, and he's just going to make mistakes, and he did. And like I said, we had 2 freshman running backs who was at the AM last Friday, and so like I said, but those guys will be back. And they have a year up underneath their belt, and so I'm excited about the future of the Booker T. Washington. Yes, they will. They will remember.
Yeah. Well, you're going to off season now, and some of your players will disperse in other sports, but you'll have probably the majority of your team in off season.
Yeah, a lot of my linemen, and some of them kind of go with Coach Brown because he's in track and he works with the throwers and stuff, and so some of my linemen go there, but a big majority will be in off season. And I encourage a lot of my skill guys to go run track because you can't substitute speed, and so I encourage those guys, even if they don't even run in a track meet, let's do the track workouts just to get faster. So that's what I kind of recommend to my skill guys. But overall, I will have a big majority of them, with me in the off season, and we just got to get stronger and faster.
It's interesting. I read an article over the weekend from Dr. Andrews, the famous orthopedic out of Georgia, and he said it's absolutely ridiculous for young kids to specialize in one sport. That the body needs to relax and change seasons, and if you're always in that one mode, that puts too much stress on the body. And so we like to see kids participate in other sports. I think it helps them competitively.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, when I started out in this profession in 1988, at Ada High, a lot of our skilled athletes played 2 or 3 sports, and that's how it was back then. Just to kind of help the other coaches out, but now in this day and era, a lot of kids just specialize in one sport, and I just don't know how they did it. I grew up in Hobart, Oklahoma, and I played 4 sports, And I was pretty good in tennis, and that was a field sport, but I couldn't do it. But yeah, a lot of kids that specialize in that one sport and hope they can, get excelled. And you got to look at it this way too. You got a lot of AAU stuff going on too. And so not only are they specializing in one sport, and they plan it like during the school year, and then they plan in the summer. So it's pretty much kind of getting out of hand.
It's 12 months out of the year.
Yes, it is,
really
totally.
Is. And I think that's one of the good things that we had with the dead period this last year, this 9 days off. You couldn't use facilities and couldn't coach your kids and so on. And, I understand that Arkansas now has gone to 3 weeks of dead period, right in the middle of the summer.
Yeah.
And because of some of the things that you talked about.
Right.
Well, you're the director of athletics, and you've got a big job at Booker T. They have 17 sports there and everything. So as you get ready to roll into the winter season, what are some of your priorities for the program?
Oh, right now I'm trying to get everything ready, workers and stuff for basketball season, and we have a 9th grade game at our place tonight, so it's here. And our varsity, I don't think they play until like December, so it's just right around the corner, and we got a week of school left before we have our Thanksgiving break, and after that, I think they still scrimmaging and stuff, but it's going to be here before we know it. And like we spoke earlier on the show, our boys and girls going to be very exciting to watch, and especially premier guards that probably the top in the state that going to be fun to watch, and they should be the front runners. And the girls, they're going to be pretty good too. So we're looking forward to that. And of course, we got some other sports with soccer and all that coming on later, but it's going to start getting busy for me, and man, I got to wear a lot of hats.
It doubles up a little bit. Doesn't it? Well,
yes.
It's got to be a good feeling though to be the director of athletics, and the little ceremony that we had last week announcing the signing or the commitment to sign, and then two Division I basketball players, and then how many in football?
In football, so far we have for sure 2. Krishan Brown is committed to University of Kansas, and then we have JJ Hester is going to Missouri, and to go, and we'll have some other kids that will probably get an opportunity with some small school Division II and some NAIA ball when we get to our national signing date.
That's got to be exciting for the school.
Yeah, it is. And like I said, we're young, and a lot of coaches come to like, I can't believe that's a sophomore. So, but I think we'll have about 4 or 5 seniors this year. We'll probably get an opportunity to go play at small school, so which is good.
Just tell them that sophomore will be back next year and the next year.
And the next year, yes, sir. Yes,
and that
sir.
freshman will be back 3 years.
Exactly.
Well, sure, I'm glad you're on, Coach, and congratulations. You got the playoffs again, and that's what we play, and you're young, and so you got them coming back. And
yes.
So next year will be exciting, and good luck as the athletic director, because I know what you're getting ready to head in the winter. It's tough in the winter. When we come back, thanks for being on the show, and when we come back, we're going to have Tony Daniels, the head football coach of the Edison Eagles.
How was school today?
Mrs. Smith, what are you doing?
Recycling.
You can't put plastic bags in the blue recycling cart, but you can recycle this milk jug.
You can recycle stuff from all over the house.
You can recycle this empty box.
What about these hangers?
Just aluminum and steel cans, paper and cardboard, plastic bottles and jugs,
Glass bottles and jars.
To learn more, check out TulsaRecycles.com.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics, and now we have Tony Daniels, the head football coach and athletic director at Tulsa Edison, and a winner in a first-round playoff game. How do you feel about that?
Feels great.
Yeah.
Feels great. First time in 27 years.
Unbelievable.
A lot of things that have happened that has just been an amazing, what makes it an amazing year. So to win the first game and move on and be 1-0 and have the chance to face Bishop McGuinness, it's going to be a good one.
A formidable opponent, obviously.
Right. Yes.
What does Bishop McGuinness do that's causes us problems?
So they have a running back that is number 2 in the state. Foremost number 1 in Savion Morrison, who's with the good guys, right? But he runs the ball well, 6'1", 210 pounds. Is great. You would think he's more of a downhill power runner, but he's got some really good vision, and he does really well with it. And he kind of gets them going. And then they also have a quarterback, number 10. He does a really good job of being able to pull the ball and do a little bit of zone read and do some different things. GT read. They do some different things with him to kind of get him going too. So it's going to be a heavy dose of Mr. Richardson, and he's going to be something that we just have to get out there and play. And fortunately for us on the defensive side, the defense has been playing really well. And even last week versus prior, the first group, I mean, it's just we just got to go out there and dominate and rally to the football and tackle them.
Well, you got a big bonus to be able to play back at home again.
That will be. I think that any time we're not having to go there, they have grass, so to be able to come back and have them travel to us and have a back-to-back. Last year was our first time hosting a playoff game in 26 years, but to be able to come back and kind of do that and do some different things and be able to host back-to-back is something else to kind of add to Edison High School.
Well, Coach, when you go through this and you lose the first game of the year, and the all city's a little shaky, and then to win 10 in a row, how do you accomplish that?
I think it all starts with preparation on the practice field. There are some things that I think our kids thought. We had a lot of returners that were coming back, and you sometimes get okay with that. You get relaxed, and we kind of saw that at the beginning of the year, and it was just something that was a blessing in disguise. I believe in, and I think that the kids, once the All-City happened, and then also with Game 1, I think that it just kind of opened their eyes, and they knew that they couldn't just show up and great things were going to happen. We had to put work in, and and it's not like we weren't trying to, do the work but I think that it just opened the kids' eyes.
Intensity is always a key, when you're trying to prepare, and when you're not that intense, you're doing the work, but you're not that intense in that day-to-day practice and competition in practice and everything.
Right, and competition was the biggest thing.
Yeah, makes a big difference. And
does.
I think you guys have done a great job of harnessing that for these 10 in a row. So as we get ready to play this football game, how are we injury-wise?
Injury-wise, we have a few kids from last week, just a little bit banged up. By the end of this weekend, talked to them and said that they're doing better. We have a couple kids that are coming back. One from injury should be good to go today. So I think overall, with Savion and with the rest of the starters on offense, I think that we're going to be coming out 100%.
Well, that's great. That's great. Jerry Ostrowski said something the other day on the radio that when you talk about injury and that type of thing, he said, I was laying on the field the first day of two-a-days with the professional football team that he played for. And he said, this is as good as I'm going to feel for the next 6 months. Because if you play football, you're going to have nicks and bruises all the way through the season. And the ability to get through that mentally, and persevere on. We don't want kids to play when they're hurt, when they're really hurt.
Right.
However, there's some things when you're not really hurt that bad that you need to move on. Well, as you look forward to this playoff game, it's going to be a cold night. The weather's going to change again.
Right.
It's going to be in the 70s the next couple of days, and then it's going to be
of course
cold again for game night. But you have other duties that you have as the director of athletics, and a season opening basketball game on Tuesday night, and a playoff football game on Friday night, and it just never ends, does it?
It never ends. Interesting every day.
Yeah, it is. It's you have management opportunities every day.
That's right.
In this business. Well, as you look forward to the playoffs, if you would get past McGinnis, then who is it?
We'll have the winner between Noble and Bishop Kelly.
Oh yeah.
But it was really good because after the game, all of our coaches in our district that played last week in the first round ended up sending everybody a text, congratulating them. So all four of us won in advance. So out of the final 8, 4 of us in our district are in it.
So that speaks to volumes of the district that
It does, absolutely.
play in it, and it prepares you to play that tough schedule.
Yes, it does.
It does. Well, as we look forward to the off season and everything, you've got a number of other sports that you supervise along with your powerlifting, which is another thing that we've added, and we're looking forward to this spring and into next year. We'll be adding some programs in the middle school. How will that help you guys?
I think when you can dive into the middle school program and start building and letting the middle school kids understand what culture is and make them understand the fundamentals, and you help them with proper lifting techniques and better athletes and just the lifting in the whole program in itself, I think that's tremendous. I'm able to go out there and help them and work with them and guide them and direct them as well as other high school coaches are able to do that.
And that's really a bonus when they're right there in the same building.
Right.
Well, Tony, good luck this week. I hope you get another win in the playoffs, and we'll have you back after that.
Thank you.
And coming up next will be the close.
Being an athlete at Edison High School has taught me to work as a team rather than as an individual. Whenever you're on a team, you have a special bond with each other. You know you can rely on them in a time of need, whether on or off the court. Whether it be a shoulder to cry on or advice on how you can improve, you know your team will always be there for you.
SNU is proud to announce our Masters in Sport Management and Administration coming to Tulsa in February 2020. Whether your dream is to be a head coach, an athletic director, or working in professional sport, SNU's Masters in Sport Management provides you with the tools you need to achieve your dreams. This 20-month program will meet on Wednesday nights at our Tulsa campus. Take your love for sport to the next level. Visit us online at pgs.snu.edu.
Thank you for watching Inside Tulsa Athletics today. We had a great show. I think we had some good coaches on to talk about their season openers in basketball. We had our football coach from Booker T, Brad Calip, who talked about how his season ended and what he looks forward to in the future. And, of course, Tony Daniels, who is looking forward to another week of playoffs and a home game this week for the Edison Eagles. We had Randy Rutherford, the basketball coach at McLain, who talked about the new facility, and I think that's fantastic. The new head basketball coach at East Central, Nate West, talked about the challenges of being a new coach. Gary Pitts, his counterpart on the girls' side, talked about all his returning starters. I think it's going to be a real interesting year. And of course, we had Conley Phipps come in and talk about the Booker T Hornet program, and Michael Parish talking about how great it is to be able to start basketball season and start in a brand new facility at McLain. I want to say just a word about that. We owe the voters of this great city a real vote of confidence, because they looked at us and they passed this bond issue in 2015. What we have been able to do for our students and student athletes over the past 4 years has been outstanding. The best is yet to come. We're still striving for those championships and the excellence in education, and we certainly want you to support us as we continue to have Tulsa athletics on a weekly basis. Come next week, in 2 weeks, and we'll be talking about Tournament of Champions and BOK Shootout. I think it's going to be a great winter season for us, and we're certainly glad that you tuned in today, and come back in 2 weeks when we have Inside Tulsa Athletics.